Welcome to the sermon. And I will start by giving a story, a short story. So when we were growing up, when I was young, and my parents were very strict parents, as any African can tell you here, in terms of discipline and in terms of punishment sometimes, and it called for the cane. So, but I learned a very powerful lesson when I was about 6 or 5 years old then, and it's concerned with doing the right thing is what we are talking about today. So my sister and I one time did something and it really costed us. So we had a house help and we knew where she kept her money. And we decided with my sister, why can't we take just a little every day and we'd go buy sweets and no one would find out? So we started by 1 shilling and we would go to the shop and buy something. Next, we progressed to 5 shillings and it went on. And she didn't realize yet until one day she asked my mom, I put my money here and I do not find it. What's going on? Then they decided to trap us, and it was found out that it's I and my sister who would take these coins every time. So obviously, you know what happened. We were given a beating of a lifetime, but my mom told me, the reason why I'm doing this is to make you a better person, to make you choose the right thing. Because even the greatest thief, they started by doing or stealing just something small. And from then I realized doing the right thing is really important. And we've got lots of examples in the Bible, lots of characters to emulate from. For example, Moses, who led the children of God from Egypt. We had Noah, who built the ark. David, Job, remember when he had lost everything and his wife had told him to curse God, but he still chose not to. We also have the disciples as well. They followed Jesus regardless. And also Jesus himself, he chose to do the right thing, to die for us, even if it's not so easy. And now, as we read in the Old Testament about the Egyptian midwives, so there came a time where the king had no idea who Joseph was. Remember why Joseph was a great man? Because he had interpreted the dream. I hope you remember this story. He had interpreted the king's dream, and he was promoted. And then what happened next is that king died, and also after some time Joseph also died, and the children of Israelites had no one to take care of them. So the current king was afraid that this Israelites, they are becoming numerous, and with time they are going to defeat us, and he was afraid. So what did he decide to do? So he decided to ask the midwives, as they are helping these ladies, to kill the boys so that he could save his nation, as he thought. But the Egyptian midwives, their names were Shifra and Puah, they didn't do that because they chose to do the right thing. But I think they had discussed what to tell the king, because if you defy king's orders, it means it's like prison and you are liable to a heavy punishment. So they decided to lie that the Israelites are so quick during this time and they have no time to do it, so they cannot do it. But they knew it, they just wanted to do the right in themselves and just defy the king's order. But later it said, God blessed these women and did good to them for doing this. So what happens if we don't do good? Right? If we don't choose the right thing. There are so many characters as well in the Bible. From the beginning, Adam and Eve. We know the story of Adam and Eve. And also Samson and Delilah. We know what happened to Samson later. Judas Iscariot. Remember the story of Ananias and Sapphira. There's so many people in the Bible who didn't choose the right thing, and there was consequences. And that reminds me of something that also I did like 2 months ago, and I told Janet about it. I was so ashamed, and I'm still ashamed of it, but I'm getting better. So I normally go to work by bus, and of course, you know, you have to pay your ticket. And almost 3.5 years I've been here, I always bought the ticket. So this one day I'm like, why do I keep on buying tickets and I never see these controllers? So I was like, oh, should I pay? Should I not buy my ticket? And I decided, oh, okay, let's see what happens today if I don't buy the ticket. So I just got in the bus and I sat down, and no sooner had the bus gone 2 stops than who came? The controllers. And they just started with me. And I was just caught red-handed. Like I couldn't explain myself. So I was just shaking there and trying to tell them, oh, I'm sorry, I'm late to buy the ticket, but I will. But of course, this guy would have nothing. He didn't want to understand. Anyway, I was in the wrong. So obviously I was given a fine of 133 shillings, not the zlotys, I mean, and wow. I felt so ashamed. Even the worst part is that I usually go with this bus every day, and of course, you know, you have some people that you know each other, like 4 to 5 people that we go with the same time and every day, so kind of you know each other. So imagine how I felt the following day when I have to go with the same people. Wow, I was so ashamed of myself, but I knew what was right. I knew I should buy this ticket, but I still decided not to. And God taught me a good lesson that I'll never forget. So I will never forget this at all. But anyway, it's fine with me. I will not do it again. But when we do the wrong thing, does it mean that God doesn't remember us, or he can make us not do the wrong things? No. Sometimes he lets you do something, a mistake, so that he can correct you. I feel like I could compare it with when a child is learning how to walk and the mom is guiding the child. So the mom at times lets this baby to fall several times, right? So that he or she can learn, as well as if you're learning how to ride a bike or something, you will fall down many times, but you don't remain down, you just get up, dust yourself, and try again and again. And I feel that's what the Holy Spirit does to us. But before we go then, I am talking about doing good to others and choosing the right things. But do you do the right things for yourself? Do you take care of yourself spiritually, physically, emotionally? Right? Do you rest when you need to rest? Do you eat properly even? How would you do the right things to other people if you don't do the right things to yourself? Because goodness and happiness comes from within. So you must be that you can share with others. Be a support to others. Many people are going through different things all the time, and we should support them all the time. And I remember, Janet, if you could remember, one time we were in Warsaw and we were from church actually, and there was this old lady who just came to us and she said, hi ladies, you're so beautiful and have a lovely day. Oh, you should have seen us. We were smiling and we were so happy. Such a small thing, but she really lifted our spirits and we were so happy about it. And it happens all the time that you get kind words, kind deeds that somebody does to you, and it keeps you going. Also, I remember one time that I was in the tram and I was standing because the tram was full. And then this old lady comes to me and drags me to sit down on her seat, and I was, why would you give me your seat? And I'm younger, I can stand, I'm fine. Of course, I can't express myself in Polish, but I tried telling the little that I could say, no, yeah, I can stand. And she said, no. And I'm like, why is she saying no? So it turned out that my belly appeared so big. She thought I was pregnant, and I was like, oh my goodness. I was telling, no, I'm okay. But she kept doing this sign, and I'm like, no, I am fine. I guess I had overeaten, or I don't know why it seemed so. But she really insisted, and I had to sit down. And I've never forgotten this lady, and it's like 2 years ago. And all those little things that happen, they remind you, people doing the small little right things for you, good things to you. I will also do something good to them as well all the time. And also I remember the time of colonialism in my country, and how people had a hard time, right? But our forefathers fought for our independence. And even if they didn't enjoy it, we enjoy it now. So sometimes you might do a right thing or a good thing, and you may not enjoy it now, or you may not have the chance to enjoy it, but somebody else will enjoy it on your behalf, right? It's still okay. It's still okay. You sacrificed yourself for a better good, for a greater good. So let's not tire to do the right thing. It's not always easy, of course. The right thing is not always easy to do. It's not the easy one, but we can do it. And I would like to ask some few questions as well. And they were guided by Pastor Harry. Thank you. And I'm going to read them out. How do we know how to choose the right and good? Are discipline and responsibility or hard work enough to be able to choose what is right and good? Remember the story of Moses as well. When he killed the Egyptian, he thought he did the right thing, but no, he didn't do good. He thought he did it then because he acted on his own. Also from the book of Hosea chapter 14, verse 9, it says, we are not to do what is right in our own eyes, but what is right in the sight of God. And how do we know that? How do we know when to choose? We can only do this by the help of the Holy Spirit. And Pastor Harry said like 3 weeks ago or a month ago that doing good, being kind only isn't enough. It's not. You need the Holy Spirit to guide you always. So we ask him to be with us, to guide us to guide our hearts, our mind, our deeds, our soul, because it's through this wisdom and strength from him that can help us make the right choices and do good always. And Janet, you're going to sing for us a song about Pass Me Not, O Gracious Savior, and we ask the Spirit to not pass us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Eunice. It's very, very kind of you. Wonderful sermon. Yeah, it is. Just before Janet starts singing, it's difficult sometimes. I believe that those Israelite women, they, as Eunice said, they were actually lying about the baby boys, about the Israeli boy. But you could interpret that as saying, as meaning that God was with them. God was guiding them with his Holy Spirit, and he was leading them what to say, even though technically they were actually telling a lie. And the other thought that came to me is, about offering seats to ladies who seem to be pregnant. I don't know about our men folk, but I always have this problem. I have this terrible problem, and it's very often I see a young lady and I want to offer her a seat, but I think, oh, I don't want to. I don't want her to be offended. You know, is she just a little bit on the chubby side, or is she actually pregnant or not? So it's an eternal dilemma. Maybe I need to be guided by the Holy Spirit.